There's a lot of movies I don't like. A lot of movies. And since this channel is basically just me talking about things I really don't like and reacting to things I don't like, buckle in, because Trapped is not good. I'm guessing a lot of you guys have heard of M. Night Shyamalan. He's made a couple of movies in the past. I used to be a huge fan of this guy. I love movies with a twist. It's one of the reasons why I love M. Night Shyamalan. And he has had some fucking bangers! Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, even Signs, all of them were goddamn amazing. They all came out right next to each other, so everybody thought this guy was God Almighty with all the fucking iconic movies he was creating. Then after that, it was just downhill.
I hear you whispering. Planning on stealing something?
No, man, we're not.
Plan on murdering me in my sleep?
What? No.
What the fuck happened? A lot of you haven't even heard of the movie After Earth, but the most recent movie being Trapped, about a serial killer being stuck in a stadium, which is all basically a giant trap by the FBI, who knows that the serial killer is in this stadium. Now, the first half of the movie actually isn't that bad. To be honest, it was really fucking good. There are only a couple of things that I'm going to talk about in a couple seconds, but I generally thought watching this movie that it wasn't bad. But once it got to the half point, my god, they just dive into a fucking cliff. I don't know what's happening, but I think M. Night Shyamalan has like some kind of ghostwriter, and I'm assuming those 3 hits, he just decided to write his own movies and be like, fuck it, this can't be that hard, and just wrote ass, not bad, ass. I'm guessing that the ghostwriter wrote half of this movie, and then M. Night Shyamalan decided to write the rest of it, because my fucking god, which makes sense, honestly, because the daughter, which is the singer of the concert of where these guys are at, becomes the main focus of the second part, and you quite well notice.
Rachel, listen to me. Your husband is the butcher. Cooper is the butcher.
Thank God she has a singing career. Holy fuck. Basically, the entire first half is him just trying to figure out how to get out of the stadium. But there's a lot of weird parts on the beginning part of the movie that a lot of people don't really want to touch on for some reason, which I'm going to talk about now. If you're a fan of M. Night Shyamalan and seen a lot of his movies, he has this distinct dialogue pattern. It's very hard to explain. It's like M. Night Shyamalan has never actually spoken to a real person before. When the character talks to like these people throughout the movie, it doesn't feel like an actual conversation.
Toxins affecting me?
Are those people killing themselves?
You were with the private. What do we do?
We need to do something.
We're not near the road.
We can't just stay here as unfold the
Give me a second. Just give me a second.
We're not gonna be one of those assholes in the news. You have to climb up and help do something. We're not assholes.
Just a second.
We're children. Alright, please do us what to do.
Give me a second. Okay, wait, give me a second.
The best way I can describe it is, ever played a video game before and you go up to these NPCs and you ask them about stuff, and these NPCs just dump all this information on you. There's this black employee in the stadium working as one of the vendors for some of these shirts and stuff. I'm not kidding. What the dad does is basically allow some other girl to get the last t-shirt that he was selling, even though his daughter really wanted it, and told his daughter, don't worry, it's not that serious, just get the next one. And the guy's like, wow, you got really good family morals, you're a pretty nice guy. Then proceeds to dump fucking the entire FBI plan on it just doesn't make sense. This conversation would never fucking happen. This employee was most likely briefed that this was top secret, not to tell anyone, for one, because of panic, and two, because he could be alerting the serial killer. He tells him fucking everything he needs to know. This is legit the dialogue verbatim. Hey there, insert employee's name here. What's up with all the police everywhere and this massive security? Oh, don't tell anybody I told you this, but do you know that mass murderer has been killing a shit ton of people? Yeah, he's in this stadium and the FBI have planned a trap to get him. But don't tell anybody. What the fuck? So he's literally telling the killer everything about what to look out for and what to do, and just mentions in there, you can't get out through any of these exits at all. Then he says really quickly, except for maybe where Lady Raven gets in, but you know, that's whatever. Like a legit a video game telling you, oh, you can't go through anywhere except for that one area that's off limits and it's impossible to get through. This is the kind of dialogue I'm talking about that M. Night Shyamalan does, like every single fucking time. And it works for the main character. By the way, main character, Josh Hartnett, my god, does he carry this shit. It makes sense for the main character because he's a psychopath. He's trying to mimic human interaction. He doesn't understand human emotion. He doesn't really understand human connection. So it makes sense for him to have these kind of weird little dialect patterns. Sadly though, there's a lot of other characters in this movie, so it's fucking weird.
Let's discuss it later.
No, hey! I'm not someone to be provoked. I have a dark side.
The rest of the first half is basically him trying to get out of this place. He's also freaking the fuck out of his daughter, which personally, if I was a fucking daughter, I'd be like, you fucking good, bro? Because he's trying to casually suggest to the daughter, hey, look, it's outside. We should go there and just see what's going on. And the daughter's like, what are you talking about? we're at a concert right now. Why do you want to go outside? The guy's like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, we should go back to the seat. There's legit a scene. They're in the main section of the concert watching this chick. And the singer announces that this other singer is coming out to collab with her and sing another song with her. So this other singer comes out of this trap door that's like in the middle of the stadium and rises up. And the dad says to the daughter, oh my god, look at that. Wouldn't it be so cool if we just went in there? Wouldn't that be crazy if we just went in there? And the daughter's like, dad, like, what are you talking about? If I was in that situation, I'd be like, bro, chill the fuck out. What are you talking about? Also, at this point in the movie, I kind of forgave that vendor for telling the main character all this bullshit about them hunting a serial killer, but it gets fucking worse. You legit go into the employee section of this concert or whatever, and they keep talking about this killer to the point where the vendor says he's so excited and loves this serial killer, and he's like, this random fucking person that he met legit 30 minutes ago, hey, do you want to see a picture of a dead body that my friend took of the butcher victim before the police could get there? Legit pulls out his phone and is like, here, look at it. Obviously, any normal person would be like, wow, this is fucking weird. No real person would have this conversation with anybody. It gets worse. He then tells them that every single employee in the stadium has a secret code. So when they go onto these employee only areas, they tell this code to the FBI so they know that they actually work there and not the killer trying to escape. Can you guess what he tells him? He legit asks, what's the code? And he's like, Hamilton. Why? But like, I just legit don't get it, because the vendor could have been like, why does this random dude want to know the code? We can get through these places so the FBI knows it's an employee and not the killer. Like, even if somebody who I knew went to the stadium, I wouldn't tell them about this code, because why the fuck would they want to know? What do they gain from knowing this code? I just don't understand. Now, that section's very, very weird, but it does get 10 times worse after the halfway. At this point, that the movie is at least like an 8 out of 10. It's not bad. Like there's these really weird sections, obviously, that I mentioned, but it's not like something to like blow your brains over. It's not that serious, and it could be chalked up to like, oh, maybe this vendor is just a little bit fucking autistic. It's kind of insane because at this point in the movie, it switches from a thriller all the way to just a straight comedy. So much sections don't make sense. The main part of this movie is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter and niece. This part of the movie just convinced me that the entire movie was just a commercial for her music, because she actually is a singer in real life. I thought it was going to be more of a cat and mouse between the FBI profile and the main character, but no, she becomes a very, very important character, sadly. I'm gonna be sugarcoating this a lot. She is one of the worst fucking actors I've ever seen in my entire life. You might be thinking, Marn, you're over exaggerating. I'm not. I'm not.
Family and other adults, and go there right now. There's a young man in a basement.
And even though her acting is like horrendously bad, it doesn't help that the story itself just takes such weird fucking turns and does such dumb shit that just doesn't make any sense. Now, in the middle of the movie, Lady Raven, which is a singer in this concert, says that she's gonna get someone special from the audience and come up on the stage with. Now, the main character somehow finds one of her details in the crowd, and it's not just her detail, it's specifically someone who's related to Lady Raven, which is M. Night Shyamalan. It doesn't get any cornier than this. And the main character, Cooper, lies to him and says that his daughter has cancer and only a few more months to live. So M. Night Shyamalan, whatever fucking character he's playing, calls on his walkie-talkie for a couple of seconds. He goes back to his seat, and M. Night Shyamalan comes in with a couple of security guards and says, hey, do you want to perform with Lady Raven? To the main character's daughter. It's also extremely hilarious what the FBI knows about the killer, because they know for a fact that he's a male. It also makes zero sense how they know this when we find out how the FBI got the information that he's in the concert by the end of the movie. But I'll get to that in a minute. It's also weird how they got him backstage. The FBI in this concert are no nonsense. They're not stopping for anybody, and every single person is getting checked. For some reason, M. Night Shyamalan's character in the movie is escorting our main protagonist to the backstage. The 5 fucking FBI agents covered in head to toe in armor are just eyeing this guy, right? Eyeing the main character. And then my Shyamalan character goes behind their ear, whispers to them. We don't hear what they say, but the fucking FBI just lets them in. You've been no nonsense this entire time. You have fucking people in the roof, in the employee sections. You have a bunch of people with assault rifles watching out for this fucking guy. But no, the detail of the celebrity tells you it's a-okay so you're not even gonna frisk him. Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. After the daughter goes into the concert, sings along with Lady Raven, he thinks he's home free, he thinks he's ready to get out, but no, he still has to go through security even though he's backstage. At this point, I thought, okay, what is he gonna do? He's either gonna, one, kill the singer, which I thought was gonna be amazing, or two, get caught and it's gonna be some kind of like weird twist, I don't know, M.Night Hyamalan type shit. But no, he does something that I didn't even think of. What this guy decides to do is talk to the singer privately, pulls up his phone, and he has a camera holding this guy hostage, by the way. If you don't escort us through your limousine and past security, I will push this button and he will die of carbon monoxide poisoning. You will be the reason why he dies. If I was a singer, I'd be like, there's a billion different kind of fucking police officers here. If I was a fucking singer, I legit would have just ran to any FBI agent, told them about it, even though some random guy is about to die right here. He's a fucking psycho killer who's going to kill you as soon as you get into the limousine. You're going to die, but you're going to risk your life for this random ass person. No fucking celebrity would ever fucking do that.
I really hate to say this. I think there's someone hanging right there.
But I digress. They get through security, get into the limousine, and this guy's plan was to just be dropped off at like the curb. That's what he said. At least he said, you just drop us off at the curb and like we're good here, because he's with his daughter. You can't just like kill her right there, because the limo driver's right there as well. Like what's he gonna do? Kill him in front of the daughter and then expose himself? So I don't know what his plan was, because she's a fucking world famous singer. Like, she's like the Taylor Swift of this universe. Like, as soon as you got out, she would have called the cops. That's what I was confused about the plan. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. Maybe he's got like a bomb in his shoe or some shit. He was gonna plant it and use it. It didn't, but no, he didn't have anything at all. And the plot went differently because for some reason the singer was like, let's go to your house. I'll drop you off at your house instead. Let's go to your house. I was like, oh, okay. So it's just not gonna explain like what would happen if he just got out of the car. Okay, that's fucking lazy. Then the daughter's like, oh my God, can she? Can she? Like, of course she can come to our house. Like, why wouldn't Taylor Swift of this universe want to come into the medium income household of these strangers she just met? But they get to the house. Lady Raven shows up and introduces herself to the mom and the kids. There's two of them now. And no one's fucking asking any questions. Like, no one's asking, why is this huge celebrity at my house right now? Why is she here? And she just wants to eat dinner with us? That makes no... It's just so fucking weird. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And it makes even less sense knowing the end of this movie. Don't worry. I'll come back to everything. You guys don't even need to be thinking about it. Don't worry. I'll bring it up again. Like, I understand the kids being dumbstruck and not like questioning it, but the wife just like goes with it. And the wife knows perfectly well who this fucking chick is, but she just goes with it too. She's like, oh, I'm so excited. Yeah! The next 20 minutes are the most excruciating shit I think I've ever had to sit through. Lady Raven takes center stage at this section of the movie. The main killer obviously told her, don't say anything to my family or I'll kill you and the guy, right? So she's like, yeah, of course, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just at your house for some fucking reason. I'm having a brain aneurysm trying to remember this movie. So they're all sat down awkwardly talking to this bitch. She obviously is in like huge distress. She looks scared and fucking uncomfortable that she's there, but nobody else fucking questions it. Not even the fucking wife or daughter. But it comes to a point where basically Lady Raven snatches a phone from the main character, takes it to the washroom and locks herself in, and then does the most fucking Gen Z shit I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like, maybe the director is in touch with this generation and knows what's going on. She has both phones, right? She has her phone and she has the killer's phone. So the killer can't do anything at this point, can't kill the fucking guy remotely. And he's also just like screaming through the door because the door's locked to let her in, even though the family's spazzing the fuck out. This fucking bitch, instead of calling the police, decides, you know what will be even better? I went on Instagram Live. I'm not kidding. Like, this isn't like some funny part of the video or some shit where I'm being sarcastic. I'm not kidding. She goes live and starts talking to her audience. Guys, I need some help trying to find this guy. What the fuck is wrong with... Call the police. You know the address. The girl told you the address while you were in the limo. You know where they live. Just call the police. So She legit goes on Instagram live and is telling her audience to find this random guy. It's like, oh, do you guys know where this is? Do you know this door? Do you know this? One of her followers knows where that location is. I'm sorry, my brain's about to fucking implode. One of the followers knows where this area is and says, oh, I know where this is. I can help him. In the span of like 15 seconds, I don't know who the fuck this follower is of this one chick. He knows where he is, finds him, and then gets him free. And we know he gets him free because we see it through like the video camera. This is like the span of like 20 seconds. And we know there's like no time lapse or like she's in there for too long because the guy's just screaming in the door, banging on the door. And then she's like, okay, cool. So instead of calling the police now, which she should have done a fucking 30-40 seconds ago, you know, fuck it. Don't call the police. Tell your fans the location of this house so they can kill this fucker. Apparently they're 20 times better than the fucking police. She's like talking to him through the door, right? It's legit the worst acting imaginable. Like, holy shit. Have you guys ever seen like one of those sitcoms where someone's like pretending to be a bad actor in that sitcom? It seemed like she was pretending to be a shit actor throughout the whole movie. It was so hilarious.
Did I tell you could talk back to me, Cooper?
The profiler told you things.
You never listen when you're told.
She opens the door. The guy's just standing there like, time to go, grabs her. They get into the car and then this bitch starts pretending to be his fucking mother. And the guy's like, that's not going to work. This is the most cliche shit ever. And then it ends up fucking working.
I know what you're doing.
There's a way to be a good boy, Cooper.
But then they open the garage door and the mother and the fucking kids are like, they're just crying. I'm guessing someone had to call the police because then the SWAT team arrives there. Maybe the limo driver called the police, but the limo driver hasn't even left the car yet. He's nowhere to be found. Assuming the limo driver is also the acting bodyguard of this fucking chick because she has no bodyguards or anything, which is insane to me. She's in this random person's house and the limo driver never called anybody. So much of this doesn't make sense. This is how usually M. Night Shyamalan movies go. A lot of things like just make sense because the director says so. It's so funny that the director was legit in the movie escorting him to the backstage of that one scene. It's legit an analogy for this entire movie. It was legit the director escorting the plot to move forward. So then the police is coming. He closes the garage door. He goes back into the house by himself. The police are swarming the fucking area. The Lady Raven gets inside the limousine. The kids are swept away by the police. The guy's just in there like casually strolling as well. 10 seconds later, she's like, let's go home to like the limo driver. But then someone knocks on the limo driver's door and is like, hey, don't worry, I got this from here. It's a police guard because he's got police SWAT on him and they drive away. Spoiler, it's him. It's a killer. It's a killer. This makes no fucking sense. Mathematically, this makes no sense because of the timing and everything. There was apparently some secret tunnel under the house that led to the neighbor's backyard across the street. Somehow, this guy, while he was casually strolling, by the way, while this was all happening, she went into the limousine, like, let's go. But then he arrived immediately to that fucking door. So he went through that tunnel, climbed down. I'm assuming by the way the tunnel looked, it's like a crevice that he had to crawl through. So he crawled underground all the way across the street. He then killed a police officer, I'm assuming, because where the fuck did he get the SWAT uniform? I'm guessing he didn't have one just lying around, which doesn't make any fucking sense either because they were all looking at the house. I'm guessing anyone would have fucking noticed a police officer missing or dead. Gets into the limousine and then drives away. God damn, it's so fucking dumb. I love when people have different opinions on movies. I really do love it because there's so much variety out there. But when it's something this fucking stupid and people defend it with their lives, they're either fucking retarded or 8 years old. Leave this movie theater and be like, wow, that was good writing. So he's the limo driver now. Lady Raven's in the back by herself. He then pulls over in the car, goes in the back seat and handcuffs her. So then you assume that he took the handcuff from the police officer but didn't take any fucking thing else. He doesn't have a gun. He doesn't have a stun gun. Doesn't have a taser. Doesn't have anything else. Just took the handcuffs and nothing else. Which also, he didn't have to like go in the back seat. She was oblivious the entire time that the limo driver was switched. So he could have legit taken her fucking anywhere and she wouldn't have even fucking noticed. But then they get to this area where there's a bunch of our fucking fans and they're blocking the road. Somehow she manages to fucking press a switch on the door that slides the window down and she's like, help me to her fans, right? And then he closes the window manually from the driver's seat. So then the fans who heard that went to the front of the car and are just looking at it like weird, telling everybody else and not letting this guy pass. She then somehow shakes enough wherever she was handcuffed to some like shitty little hinge, slides off and she's able to walk out the car and everybody's still surrounding the car and I'm assuming huge celebrity is legit out of the car walking out, but nobody's following her. Well, not too many people. Everyone's still surrounding this this car for some reason. So I'm assuming everybody knows that the killer's in here. Then the police come out fucking nowhere. Don't know how they're there, but I'm guessing something fucking happened. If anything, the response time for the police is fucking insane. Their stupidity, however, the police surround the car and tell the civilians to back off and tell them to come out or else we'll start shooting. The police go inside and the car is empty. This shit is never explained, by the way. It cuts to black and then he is outside in a hoodie looking at the police raid the car. This is never fucking explained and makes zero sense. The fucking fans are outside all smashing the car. The dude couldn't even open the door without hitting one of the fans outside. It makes zero sense how he got out and no one saw him. But it's never explained because it just cuts to black. So then there's a manhunt, this guy escapes, blah, 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 blah. And then it's cut to the wife. She's at home alone with the police. And then the police go outside and she's left alone in the house. And somehow, don't know fucking how, but somehow finds a way inside the house, even though the fucking house is surrounded by police. And this is where the big twist is revealed. The wife is the one that knew that he was a butcher and sent the police to the concert. By the way, now he's shirtless. Don't fucking ask me. I don't know where the fuck his shirt went. He's shirtless now. Now you may be asking, Martin, how the fuck did she know? I'm about to tell you. So she thought he was cheating on her because there was a bunch of late nights. Never really explained where he was going sometimes. There was a lot of weird shit. So she was assuming that he was cheating on him, which makes sense. But then her reasoning for her thinking that he was a butcher is fucking so insane. I thought you were cheating on me, but that didn't really make sense to me because you came home smelling like cleaner fluid, but that cleaner fluid isn't one used in the firehouse. He's a firefighter. I was like, okay. One day she follows him to this fucking house. She writes down the address and then she comes back to that house when he leaves and she's completely alone. He explains in that little talk that he doesn't do any of the killings in that house at all. He instead comes there to think and plan out his next killings. So she goes into this house and sees a chair and a table there. And then she's like, oh, you must be the butcher. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. This is the realization that she came up with. He smells like weird cleaner fluid and there's an empty house with a table and a chair. He must be the butcher. There was no other evidence there. There was nothing else. Table and a chair. This is the realization where she's like, my husband must be the killer. So then she takes the receipt that the daughter and the main character had for the concert, rips it a little bit, throws it on the ground. She calls the police and tells them this may be where the butcher is. This could have all been avoided so easily if they just had a DNA swab at the concert. Some just small DNA swab. It could have just been in the mouth or something. They could have done something like that. They didn't have any DNA sample. But how did they know that the butcher was male? So they didn't 100% know that there were any killings there because the guy said that he just comes there to think. It was an anonymous tip that didn't make any sense and didn't back up forensically. So how the fuck did they know that he was male? And how the fuck did they know that he might have had a tattoo here? Even if it was on the CCTV cameras, how the fuck did they see his wrist with a tattoo? But they somehow knew it was him. It doesn't fucking make any sense whatsoever. But I digress. We continue where it gets about as equally dumb, honestly. So then she drugs him with some kind of drug she found in his bag. He says that he uses them on the victims, calm them down and sedate them. So he's already going through it and he's like woozing out, being all weird. And she runs outside the kitchen where there's a police guard that comes out of nowhere and starts tasing him. Two police officers start tasing the fuck out of him. One on this side, one on this side. This guy who's already been drugged, getting tased by two people, somehow finds the fucking strength to stop being tased for a second, run at one of the police officers, grabs his head and gouges his fucking eyes out with his fingers, and then starts running after the other police officer, while then comes in and starts tasing him again and he's on the floor. Police in this fucking shit are so fucking dumb. It's insane. Even people who have never seen a police officer before would probably assume that the shit that they're doing is so fucking dumb. So this high profile guy who the police force has outlined the entire movie how much of a danger to society he is, who they locked down an entire concert and interviewed individual males, every single one of them, to fucking get this guy act so stupid. It's insane. He's walking down being escorted by police. He sees like this little bicycle on the ground that's tipped over. He just tried to kill his wife and gouged out a fucking police officer's eyes 10 seconds ago. They legit let him go and let him pick it up and place it. Then he keeps getting escorted down and his kids are like, "Daddy, Daddy," and run over to him to give him a nice little bear hug. He just gouged out a guy's eyes 10 seconds ago. Like, it was gruesome too. He was there for like 5 seconds just but they let him hug him. They let him hug the kid. It doesn't matter how dangerous this guy is. The police stopped the kid, but the profile's like, let her go so she could hug the dad. Like, the profile should know more than anybody how fucking dangerous this fucking guy is. She legit said in the beginning of the concert, she's explaining to everybody, this guy's highly dangerous and insanely intelligent. He will not hesitate to hurt somebody to get what he wants. It's so brain dead. So then they put him at the back of this police car without police officers, by the way. He's there by himself. High profile serial killer riding in the back seat by himself, who just gouged out a man's eyes and tried to kill his wife. It's then revealed when he untipped the fucking bicycle, he got like a little pin from the wheel and starts laughing maniacally. It then cuts to black, most likely gets out and then fucking kills everybody, fucking knowing the director of this goddamn movie. This movie was such a clusterfuck. In the second half of the movie, anybody wants to watch this movie and is genuinely curious about it, I suggest you watch half the movie and then call it a day. Don't watch past him getting backstage. After that, cut it out, go to bed. This shit was so ass. But yeah, that was Trapped. I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't really want to just do movies when I talk about stuff I hate. I want to talk about games. I want to talk about people, trends. It's just I watch a shit ton of movies. I don't want this to become a channel where I just talk about movies. It's my favorite form of media. But I also want to talk about games I hate, people I hate, a whole bunch of shit. Really anything at all. Even reacting to videos that I don't like. So I don't want you guys to think this is just going to be movie based. It's not. I'm going to talk about anything that I just don't like. But if you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed me talking shit and trashing this movie for fucking 10 minutes, make sure you drop a like, comment down below if you guys have a suggestion of what movie you guys want me to cover next. That's insanely bad. So if you haven't yet, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell me down below what movie you guys want me to watch next, and I'll see you guys next time.